Hello YouTube chess lovers, this is Gunjan here, and this is my first ever video on YouTube, and I like to say thank you for watching this video. I try to make this video as much interesting as I could, uh, and today I'm going to show you a art trap and Caro defense. This game was played by me on Yahoo. At the time my rating was 1600 and my opponent was like around 1800, and he was really strong. Like, he just beat me before this game, two games, and he beat me quite easily. And because he has a really strong middle game, and I'm learning right now, so I was not that much good. But anyways, this game was something different. It was a really good come out from me. It start with e2 e4, and then my opponent play a Caro defense, which is c6, and then I open up with the d4, d4, and then he played d5, which is a usual line for a Caro defense. The line continue with I played knight f3, and he just took that e pawn, and I took back with my knight, and then he bring out his knight at f6. Generally at this place, sometimes the black player play first knight to d7 and then knight to f6, but my opponent doesn't, like, he doesn't go for that. He decided to bring his knight on f3, and I decided to like defend my knight with the queen, and also giving my queen out in somewhat a middle center. And at this point my opponent play a really strange move, which is kind of shock to me, because generally you don't see often this kind of moves on Caro defense. But he played here e5, which is a kind of unusual, because in Caro defense generally you don't see players play like open the lines like that. Generally they just develop a small center near the six lines, and then they defend, like, castle the king on the king side and attack on the queen side. But that's not the case here. He just tried to open up lines here, and for a moment I just think on this. I think that if I take this pawn, it will be not at all bad for me, because after taking this pawn, even if the queens exchange, I can take with my bishop, and now this e pawn is hard to defend for the black, and white will be a piece up here. For instance, like if you take the knights take knight and I take by the bishop, and now this pawn is really easy to defend for me by the f pawns. It's great supported by f pawns. So here the white will be a pawn up, and it will be a good game for the white. So I was thinking that he will not go for the lines. So I decide what other things he can do, and I can see here that he can probably check me, and I can move my bishop over here, and then he can take this pawn by his queen. But in this case I can castle on the queen side, and then my rook can come on the e file and attack on his king. And because his king and queen is in a line, so it will be hard for the black to just generally quickly go on king side castle, and probably I have a good chance of attacking on his king. So in this case, even if the black takes this knight, it's just taking a piece for a while, because the rook can come on the f file, and if we try to support the knight, I can just kick this knight out, and like he can't move this knight because if his king and queen in a line, so he has to move his queen somewhere, and then I can take back this knight. So I think all of this, and I think there's nothing wrong to take that pawn, so I decided to take it. And my opponent play exactly what I think. He checked me with the queen, and I play my bishop over here, and he just take that pawn with the queen, and I castle. And at this position, uh, I think that my opponent make a big blunder by taking this knight. And if you can pause the video here, and let's see, can you find the a really good, I have to say, a winning line for the white. Let's take a try. Okay, welcome back. The move here, it's it's quite unusual, but lots of people, I don't know, probably you find it or not, but the real good, really good move is queen to d8. And it's really hard for my opponent, because when I was playing this game, my opponent looked for like probably 30 or 40 seconds to look at the step. And here black doesn't matter, he doesn't have any choice. He has to this queen, because there is no other options left for the black. And the king take this queen, and now I come with a discover check, a double check with my king and bishop. Okay, sorry, my rook and bishop. So his king has to move, but which is the nice place here. And ideally, officially, there's only two legal moves available here for the black's king. One is either to king goes to the e8, but in that case my rook can come over here and the black is checkmate. So my opponent doesn't go for that, and he decide the other option, which is to move the king on c7. But again, in this case, my bishop can come over here, and that's a checkmate. So it was a nice revenge for me. I just win like really easily in this game, and I think this game was really nice. So I thought that I should share with the YouTube chess lovers. Thank you for watching my video. I see you next time. Bye.